the shiny things are always going to be coming at you, and don't take your eye off of your solid fundamentals. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you take your eye off of those
Mm-hmm.
things, and by taking your eye off, when I talk about fundamentals, I don't mean that you stop innovating, right? That's not what I mean by shiny things. You keep um, you keep innovating on kind of your bread and butter so that you're better than anybody else at that, and you're so rock solid that you're actually resilient to a little bit of ambiguity, or maybe even a lot of ambiguity within the system. So the health equity index reward is a great example of that. We have all spent the last 2 years drowning, right, in health equity data, getting prepared for it, building internal reporting to make sure that we can track our SRF members over time and when we put new initiatives into place. To me, that feels like a new fundamental, regardless of whether you're getting rewarded on it, right? The strategies that you put into place and the things you learned about your members by doing that work, those are still really valuable, and those are still
Mm-hmm.
things that you should focus on. Because go back to my previous example, let's say you're not eligible because you fall below 21%, but you're still at 20. Let's say you do have large disparities. That's 1 in 5 of your members that's dragging down your rate.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, if you weren't focusing on them before the HEI came along, that was your performance problem anyway. So
Mm.
keep looking at that, right? Make sure that you understand your members, the fundamental aspects of delivering care, and you will then be resilient to a lot of these changes that are coming your way. Now, your product team
Mm-hmm.
might throw you a few curveballs, right? They might go out there and start randomly marketing or growing your service area in a way and not
Yep.
thinking about what the implications of that are. They probably are going to do that, and they probably just did it.
Mm.
But that's a thing that you're always going to have to deal with. So focusing on those fundamentals is key.
And I think,
Yeah.
Nate, I actually agree with and appreciate what Nate was saying. I think he's got
For once,
a skill
Yeah, I was like,
set.
do you guys usually not agree? Like,
Well,
let's talk
I was
about
going to be
that.
more specific here. I agree. Like he does have the innate ability,
Innate.
to not get, no pun intended, to not get caught up with the shiny things. Let's focus on
Mhm.
the fundamentals. But Nate and I have been we've done, like, at conferences, talked about this. Whether you get the reward for HEI or not, this is still a good move. And it's a good move because it's a good thing, but it's also a good numbers move. If you've got
Mhm.
a decent sized population on the SRF side, anything that you can do to improve access, to improve the care that they're getting, is going to bump up your scores. It's going to bump up.
Mhm.
It's going to bump up your QI, make it a lot easier to achieve that. And if you think
Yep.
about what's the average HEI bonus, 11 points is one of the recent numbers that I saw,
yeah.
where reward factor was 26, 27, 28. And so that gap is much lower here. And so maybe you're not getting the
Mhm.
reward, but with every QI bump, you jump up 6.5, 7 points. So 7 points versus 11, there's still a lot to
Mhm.
be gained, and you're doing the right
Mhm.
things.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for both saying that, because one of the things that I've heard multiple times in the past 6, 8 months is like, well, they moved member experience from a 4 to a 2. So that investment we made in improving member experience is wasted. I'm like, But how?
Oh my
Like,
God.
it's not
Yeah. I.
like everything can't be
Mhm.
everything. I know you both have heard it too, but I'm like, each
Yes.
move you make still is meaningful. Also, if you're sitting at that cusp, that you're at 20 and you need to be at 21 for, individuals with SRFs, I would put money on it that there are members who are eligible for LIS who are not
Yeah.
enrolled in LIS. Like, HEI has two parts to it. One, do you have enough members to qualify? And then two, work the same measures that you've been working. And none of those ops measures that we're talking about are going away, are those
Right.
measures. So keep working the measures. Don't stop working the measures just because you don't have enough members to qualify. And then look for areas that maybe in your case managers or in your brokers, or really anybody that touches your membership, especially if you're doing what you should be doing already with the new HRA and screening members for that SNSE measure. If they said they're food insecure or have housing insecurity and they are not flagging as LIS in your system, a
Right.
good start would be maybe to screen them.
Get them through. Yeah. Get them
Just a
started in
thought.
that process.
Sorry,
Yep. Yep.
rant
Totally.
over.